Okay, hello everybody. Today we're going to be taking on Glavenus. Glavenus? Yeah. Anyway, or as I thought it would look like. I thought it looked like an Uragon reskin, but it didn't feel like an Uragon reskin. But first we gotta do the thinly veiled cutscene, and that's exactly what this is. Don't even try and tell me different. That's what this is. It's lazy and I don't like them. But we gotta do it. Because reasons. I mean, why couldn't you just shove cutscene here? That would have been better. I don't know, show the fucking thing flying over the town. But no, we gotta go out there and feel like we're interacting with the world when we're just walking with the handler. That's a good idea, yep. We gotta actually go and press circle on the ground. Oh, I have pet peeves. I'm sure people are tired of hearing of them, but seriously. Why did we have to walk around here? There was no reason for it. It was a waste of 6 minutes. That's what this was. And again, I'm assuming if you don't, follow the handler, this takes a lot longer. So, I followed the handler. Because you never know which way she's going to go unless you played the game before. So I was like, I'm just going to follow you this time. I'm not even trying to explore by myself. Nope. I like how she just says those particular gashes in the wood are what she's looking for. For all she knows, that's a Rathalos, unless she can tell at a glance. So I'm pretty sure Rathalos do leave gashes in the floor, because they have talons. But we're just ignoring that, or Raytheon, or what have you. I'm more concerned about why you know what a First Wyverian's footprint looks like. Are you a stalker? Okay. Or is that just like taught in handler school now? There's a lot of holes in this writing. It's here. Here since the beginning. Sleeping, awake. Short, long. Sleeps there, awakens here. Always repeating. Then awake there, sleeps here. Awake both here and there. Intensifying. When you try and be deep, but you have no idea what you're actually trying to say. That's what that sounded like. I mean, that sounds like an awful reach. Like he was trying to sound more intelligent than he really is. Ironic, I'm sure somebody just said. But the point is, at least makes sense if you're gonna say something. I kind of get what he was saying, but it was not worded well. I guess they weren't orators in that First Wyverian group. Me, being the gentleman I am, thought, oh, I'm about to enter a fight, right? I guess we'll see. Now, mind you, I've never fought any of the things we're getting ready to come up against before, because I don't think they were in 3U, so these are all new to me, though I don't think they're new to the series. That's a good sign. They don't look like spikes. Great. It's an oversized bat. See, I told you, Rathalos. Kick its ass, Rathalos. That's not the correct response to this situation. No, that's it. There's no fight. Nargacuga. I have no idea what that thing actually does. Other than apparently shoot things. Let's go back and tell everybody we almost died. Okay, sounds like a plan. Anyway, they give you some baloney about, you need to go find Volcana tracks, like you haven't done this with like 5 other things at this point. Like, oh wow, I had no idea I was supposed to find tracks. Then you spotted a Nargacuga, a species that has never been seen in the New World. And add on to that, we just received a report that a Glavenus was spotted in the Wildspire Wastes. What do you make of this? Why are you here? Did you just abandon your post in the Celiana? No, I want to know this. Did you just leave those people to fend for themselves? This is important. You're their commander. Good intuition, he says. I don't know how he'd know that. He just sits in base all day. Okay then, this is basically them saying, do you know how to get footprints yet? You've only been doing it for hundreds of hours, maybe thousands. No, game, I kinda forgot. Thank you for telling me again. Seriously, why the hell did you feel the need to tell me this shit? Targets are Nagakuga and Glavenus. Let's keep an eye out for Velkhana tracks while we're at it. You can find those in the expeditions as well. I found some while I was hunting Barrett and optional quests, so... yeah, it doesn't have to be during the assignments like I originally thought. I think I bought like one thing here real quick, because I only had 10 Edelite order, which was kind of stupid, but considering I have so many points, it's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just buy some because, why not? Why? Woo! Got some stuff done. I'm not doing dailies hardly anymore, so I'm just kind of playing what I wanted when I get on, basically. When I actually start getting into higher ranks of Master Rank, I might start doing the dailies again, just so I can have the choice of whatever, what do you call it, materials that I want from stuff, but like the good old days, the golden tickets or whatever they were called back then. Anyway, I had a pretty difficult time deciding, do I want to go after that bat thing or whatever the hell a Glavenus is? Because I'd never fought. I think it was in 4, maybe Generations. I'm not sure what game Glavenus was in, but I never played it. And I eventually chose Glavenus because it sounded like an interesting monster just from the name alone. Not exactly a good way of choosing what you want to fight, is it? So mind you, I had no idea what Glavenus even did. I'm going to assume that you don't either, so... this fight is not the most greatsword friendly. I don't think any single fight in Iceborne has been so far, but hell, you can do it. Oh, believe me, you can do it. And if you'd paid a damn bit of attention to the picture, you can get an idea of what it looks like. I'll just tell you, I didn't pay attention to it. But yeah, I think I eventually chose... I know I eventually chose Glavenus here, so let's go with him. Because I'm like, well, I saw Nagakuga, I want to see what the other one looks like, you know? Why just stick to the one we just saw, right? That'd be boring, man. So in preparation of this, having no idea what I was walking into, did I change the Mire Walker? I might have kept Mire Walker, because I'm like, I might be in that water area. I might have kept that Mire Walker. Maybe I didn't. Thinking back on it now, you shouldn't, because I don't think you fight him in the water area. You might fight him in the water. No, I put Mind's Eye in there, which was a good idea, by the way. You have to have white sharpness if you don't want to bounce. And since this thing has like very little white sharpness, and you don't want to bounce in Master Rank, that's not a terrible idea. I mean, you do suffer a damage reduction, I think, even if you don't bounce, but at least you don't bounce so you don't fucking die when it bounces. That's kind of a big deal, you know, just saying. Anyway, it took me forever to actually find where the hell this thing is. I went across the whole Wildspire Way, so I cut out like 10 minutes of footage of me wandering around going, where's it at? So here we are. I know what you're thinking, Bark, that's a Raytheon. Look, I know what it is, okay, but that's where I'm supposed to go. And this is not a good area to fight him in, but this is where you start him at. I think. Yeah, that Raytheon's been beat up. I didn't do it. and now we're the ones left. How you doing? You doing good? That's not very sanitary. I don't think he cares, though. And here we go! Now, since I had no idea what the hell this thing was, I kind of just went with the old-fashioned temporal right out of the gate to get that cooldown rolling, as is tradition. So I think you can cut this thing's tail off, but I think you can only cut it off when its tail is red. So there you go. Also, I should tell you ahead of time, because I think I do fuck this up later. When you're mounting this thing, and it jumps like Anjanath, you know what I'm talking about, where it just like runs and jumps, you have to brace. If you try and like jump around, you will run out of stamina, and it sucks. Just to let you know, alright? Because I did that myself. So that's something to remember. I was like, well, I know the big selling point is its tail, apparently, so I'm just gonna, like, fucking cut the tail off. That's a good idea, right? That's nice. That's a neat trick. But yeah, this thing has exceptional range. So, if you want to play it safe, I mean, being near it's not exactly safe in the first place. Or being safe. Being near it's not exactly safe in the first place. But, if you're wondering what I was doing, I thought, well, it's glowing red, so, you know, the puddle pod's gotta be good, right? I mean, come on. I'm surprised I actually got away with that, truth known. But it didn't really work in my favor, except I had the temporal mantle on. And yeah, that thing hits like a son of a bitch, that move, if you don't have a temporal mantle on. I'm talking with Vitality 3, that thing takes away like 60% of your health if you get hit by that. That's a big old, I'm going to slap the piss out of you, you better get out of the way move. If you don't get out of the way, well, that's your fault now, isn't it? So make sure you pay attention to the audio, or the visual cues, like this, get ready to dive, or just don't and be an ass like me. But, you know, I hadn't really picked up on that quite yet, because it's the second time I've ever seen the thing. You might argue that makes me dumb, but, you know, I was like, nope. No, I've given up the positioning. I think I'll just leave now. Thank you. I think I'll just try and get a cheap shot off and miss both times like an ass. But I tried. Okay, you see what I was going for there. Thankfully, he's going to a place that's much better to fight him at. Now, another thing I didn't cover last time with the Barioth fight was that Icy Bridge of Death. You can just dung pot him. I think he'll leave to another area, which might be well worth doing, but I didn't because I wanted to experience the fight in its default full state. But if you're intelligent, you probably don't. I don't know why I always think this will work. I'm like, I'm gonna sneak up on it. Oh hell, never works. Jesus, that tail swipe, tail whatever the hell is very quick. By the way, very difficult to time. If you're gonna try and tackle through that shit. Let me tell you. This thing is fast, has very long range, and it is mean as hell. So, it's not very friendly. That poor cactuar. It doesn't give a fuck, man. It just stands there. It's standing its ground. Yeah. I was still trying to learn the moveset, so I'm just trying to survive until I can learn what this thing does. Maybe get a few hits in here and there, but... You know, I'm not trying to... Oh, hell. That actually worked in my favor, but I was like, oh, I messed up big on that one. Ooh. That was not a good attempt there on my end, but it worked. This is bad. Yep. It's actually a really fun fight. I know it doesn't look like it will be on a greatsword, but this is a really fun fight. That is just to get a hell back move right there, I think, isn't it? No, he's just, I don't know what he's doing. He's just jerking himself off, I guess. I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't doing anything. I thought he was getting ready for his big, I'ma just, you know, do his big old attack there, but he didn't. He just kind of roared. I'm just trying to get that cactuar involved so he'll Thousand Needles his ass, but he never really did. I was trying to use the local fauna to my own advantage here, and I was just being very cautious, which is not really what you can do on Glavenus. I mean, the thing kind of has long range on you, so you gotta try and get in the range. But if you're in the range, it's, well, you're in its danger zone. So, it's it's kind of a catch-22 situation as a great sword user. Now remember when I said I fucked this up? Yeah, I fucked this up. Because I was holding R2 after I initially realized, shit, it's going to knock me off, but it didn't go through because I was already, you know, jumping, so... Just let you know, if this thing starts running and jumping, just brace. You will have to. This will come into play later, I'm pretty sure. I learned my lesson from Barrioth. Maybe I should just not be quite as gung-ho with attacking, right? It might take longer, but I was trying to not, you know, get hit as much. Because it didn't feel good to get hit as that much. This is a bad idea. But it actually kind of worked, looking at it. Except I, you know, really fucked up that terribly. Well, my Palico just saved my behind there, and that's... oh, hell. Not a good time to be doing this. Is it? Is it? Well, I still argue that was some horse shit, but it was my own fault for the horse shit, but... You know, if the ground had been even, I think that would have landed. But the ground wasn't even, so I shouldn't have tried it. Basically... I still don't know if that would have hit me if I'd been like 2 feet back, but it sure looked like it, didn't it? That was just oh hell. I dodged too soon! Yeah, that's, that hurts if you don't time that right. Really badly. Also, if I'd known what this thing did, I would have brought a fire mantle, but I didn't know what this thing did, so I didn't bring a fire mantle. That's just my own lack of knowledge, though. At least I brought the immunity mantle so I couldn't be fire burned sometimes, right? Not that that really is a big thing in this fight whatsoever. But that's my default go-to in Master Rank, Temporal and Immunity. Because immunity can be a pretty big deal in some fights if you don't know what you're walking into. This area is not the best to fight him in, but it's not the worst. It's one of the worst, but it's not the worst. Oh, hell. Not the worst. He keeps moving. Oh, fuck. Yeah. He's very slow when he wants to be. Very, very slow when he wants to be. And it is annoying as all hell. That's what this is. But this fight is a lot easier to learn for me than Barrioth. But it's still not what you'd call the easiest fight in the world for a great sword user. Because he just keeps turning. And he's deceptively... he seems a lot bigger than he is. Because he keeps moving backwards. He does. You see it. He keeps moving. It's just like, well, shit, dude. Oh, now you get tired, asshole. Now's the time you get tired. No. Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess the tail's just finally broke. I can't actually break the tail anymore. But no, I think you actually can. I think you just have to wait until it's glowing red again, which I didn't know at the time. Because I seen one guy break the tail completely clean off. And it wasn't me. Alright, so... the only thing I noticed different was that the tail was glowing red. So, that's like my only hypothesis on that. That was an interesting move, wasn't it? I did notice his hind legs are kind of weak points, which is weird considering you'd think those would be armored, but they're not. Oh, he was getting ready for his lava breath. I didn't know you could only use that while he did that, or after he did that one thing. But yeah, he can use his lava breath apparently after he like sharpens his tail on his mouth or something like that. That was an interesting move. I somehow dodged. I'm just gonna tell you, it wasn't intentional, but I did it. Boy, this is greedy as shit. And I thought, oh, I can hit it, but he walked forward while he's paralyzed, because that's what paralysis means. Of course, you can still walk while you're paralyzed. Someone should have told FDR that. So anyway... oh... I don't know how I got through that. I was just invincibility framing that shit. I've missed it. Plain and so... oh, hell. I invincibility framed that shit, too. This is not a good place to be. It explodes, too, yeah. Ooh, I should have died there. I should have died there. That's not a good place to be walking. But yeah, right now I think I could cut his tail off if I tried, but I didn't. Because I thought it was completely broke already. That move is hard for me to predict. I think you can predict that based on where, like, the way his tail is moving, like which direction. after watching this fight a couple more times, but it's kind of difficult for me to do that yet, because I've only fought him twice now. Again, because I never played the game he was in previous, which I think was in 4. I'm not sure, though. But like most master rank hunts, you kind of have to. I said that in a bad way. I'm sure someone's going to say I said a bad word. Most master rank hunts, that you should go, resupply between phases. I mean, you don't have to, but you should if you use a lot of potions. Just saying. That shouldn't even be controversial, but some people did. Also, yeah, I don't plan on using traps for fights I've never fought before. Why? Because that's dirty. I don't fight dirty like that. Not unless it's a capture quest, then obviously I will. But this is not a capture quest, I'm not doing that. Nah. Nah, I'm good. I want to experience the fight vanilla, if that makes any sense. I want to see what all the fuss is about. I was like, I can sneak into... No, I can't. Because I always think it'll work, and it never does. Nope. I'm not... Like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, you're just walking around in a circle. That's what you're doing. Yeah. I guess I'll just take another whack at the mounting attempt. Why not? Except this time I learned. That's something. I will, like I said before, I thought the tail was completely broken, so I didn't really keep trying to cut the tail off because I hadn't at the time realized you could completely sever it. I think you can, but it's hard to do. Just because you have to be at a specific time, and usually when that thing's glowing, well... And of course, Raytheon came back at pretty much the exact worst time just to piss me off. So I'm like, oh, no, you're gonna piss me off. I'm gonna piss you off. And I just invulnerability frame that shit too, because why not? I'm a pro, apparently. And, if I'm gonna have to fight 2 of you at once, I'm gonna blind the piss out of both of you. That's what I'm gonna do. How about that? Was it intelligent? Not in the least. But I did it. I'm a spiteful motherfucker, okay? Now, of course, the way Monster Hunter works is if you knock something down, it has to fall 50 goddamn feet away at all times, because otherwise you might actually be able to land a true charge, and we cannot have that. And here we are, aren't we? I hit one or both. I think I only hit one. This is gonna be bad. Yeah, that move, you can tackle through it, but good luck, because it's very fast. Very, very fast. Because I wasn't having enough trouble with Glavenus by itself. They had to throw in Raytheon as well. I mean, to be fair, I can kind of see where the Raytheon's coming from. You had a big duel with this guy, and all of a sudden some other guy's fighting it, so you take advantage of the situation, but it's kind of annoying. This is bad. But I actually timed it right. That was pretty cool. Those are the tackles you get. Those are the tackles you're proud of, You managed to do that shit, and you'd be like, wowee. I guess it's not that fast. There is a wind-up, now I look at it. It's kind of hard to time it, though. I don't know why I wasn't affected by that roar. I should have been, but I wasn't. Get the damn material that you left back there, you savage. I guess I'll just leave it. I know I saw material back there. Oh well, it's not like I won't be fighting this 1,000 more times anyway, so I guess I'll get used to it. Maybe next time I'll capture it if it's possible. Just so I don't have to grind this fight so many times. I'm not opposed to entirely to capturing. It is better as far as getting materials for the thing. Especially in Master Rank, it seems like. You get a lot more materials capturing than you do killing. You get like 2 cars in Master Rank, it seems like. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take the good old precautions here. Jesus. That is pretty quick, though. Ah, shut up, you baby. You're whining too much. This is bad. Or not. He just kind of gave up on that one halfway. It seemed like... That's when I realized they explode. I hadn't realized that prior. I wasn't paying that much attention, but that's when I realized they explode. So you should probably take note of that and don't try to do what I just did there. That was fancy, and it was unneeded, and it cost me. I broke something. I'm not sure what I broke, but I broke something. I'm like, oh, that might actually be the perfect position. Except, you know, he wouldn't allow me to actually get the true charge off because I actually got greedy again and tried to do a full charge. Which was a mortal sin in Iceborne, it seems like, if you don't time everything absolutely perfectly, which makes sense, it is master rank, to be fair. That was a good old-fashioned dodge. It's kind of thrilling in master rank using a greatsword, because you are everything has to be done perfectly, otherwise shit ain't gonna work. Well, this is bad. I was trying to time it, but I was like, well, I got a safety net. I might as well try and time this, right? The answer? No, I probably shouldn't have timed that. Because I fucked it up. And he's doing that move. Ooh, not a good idea. But that actually kind of worked. I'm being a little fast and loose with my HP here, but it kind of, oh hell. And you can see I learned you gotta dodge a little later. Being a little fast and loose with the potion usage as well, not even going to full, but bad idea to be there. And there I just kind of died because I couldn't get up. I still say that was bullshit. I still say that was horse shit. They're both bull and horse. So yeah, that was bad. I don't recognize your shitty fainting there, Barong. To be fair, I guess I could have stayed down, but I think I was sliding, so my character was automatically getting up, so I really didn't have much of a choice there, except die, it didn't seem like. Or just don't get hit, I guess. That was the other choice, but I failed that part. So, I mean, I got hit, so, I mean, it's kind of hard not to do that when you're learning the encounter. Of course, I also forgot that the boss was, like, right there as soon as I exit, so I probably should have just kept the mantle on, but I forgot that, so I did. I just took it off. I was like, I'm gonna get the cooldown rolling, man. Yeah, immunity mantle don't really do much in this fight unless you really hate flame blight. I should have used the flame mantle. Ooh. I tell you, that does feel good to dodge when he does that kind of stuff, though. This is greedy, overly greedy. I thought, oh, I'm out of that. Oh no, he goes all the way around. I thought he only attacked in front of you. And Felicity saving my behind again with that big old Sonic thing. So I'm pretty sure I would have died there if she hadn't done that. Nope. There he goes. He doesn't want to fight now. I was like, oh, I'm too bad I want to fight. But unfortunately, I didn't know he'd knock you off if he jumped. But he does. Ah, well. I was trying to be fancy. I know some people are saying, dude, you need to do that like in the beginning of the fight because you damage the thing, and then you do more damage with the affected part. Yeah, but when am I going to do that? When they're attacking all the fucking time? The only time I can do that without getting knocked off is when they're running away. At least it seems like that. There I was thinking you could maybe break it off eventually, but no, I think you have to wait until it's red, glowing, a la Lavacial. Ooh. I might have been in the very bottom of that, like very edge of that, but it was not very much of it in there. It's not a good place to be. As you can see, I'm trying to mount a lot, just so I can get those free true charges off. That was a cinematic as all get out, just jumping over the blade. Bam, in the face. I'm like, I'm gonna try it. You know, fuck, I'm gonna try it. And it worked, too. It was not a wise idea to try that, but I did it. Damn it. I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this before he gets his ass up. I'm not walking all the way to the head. Plus, I want to see if I can break this. Her. Turns out, not now. Not now. I don't think this will hit, by the way. Of course, I didn't think he'd get tired again quite so soon, but he did. Ooh, that was not intentional, me dodging that, I'll just tell you now. I remember going, oh, that was a happy accident. Yep. Oh, not a good place to... I was trying to dodge. Or trying to... Not dodge. Trying to tackle that. I thought he was doing his big attack again. It's hard to tell from the back what he's doing sometimes when he bends forward. You think he's doing that big whoosh attack, but I think he might have to have his tail glowing to do that. I'm not sure. I didn't really pay attention the first couple times he did it. That's still scary every time his tail goes like that. He is pretty darn inaccurate sometimes, though, if you're constantly moving, so there is that at least. That was bad. Now, of course, you can always just leave your Palico at home if you really want to make sure that you are the one that has aggro, so you can learn that shit, but then you don't get any of the buffs and all that, so it's like, why would I do that? I guess so you can make sure the enemy can, you know, only go after you, so you know what the hell it's doing, which would make it easier for true charge. Like, oh, I'm dead. I almost got that tackle timing right. I mean, it didn't, but I almost did. I was like half a second too early. Ooh. Yeah, you gotta really be trying to run if you're gonna try and heal from this dude, because that range is deceptively long. I bet if I hit the tail one more time, I would have maybe been able to cut that off, because I did a lot of damage to that tail. Too early. And I realized it was too early, so I was like, I'm gonna block. I'm already at blue anyway, man. How much worse can it get, you know? By the way, I guess I was right. You do sometimes fight in this mire, so it can be worth it to have the Mire Lurker gem in. This was not a wise idea what I just did. Oh, no, well, no, I didn't bite in the ass there, but it will later. Oh, it will later, trying to shoot rocks at the thing. I'm like, okay, he's going that way. I'm just going to go back here, restock, and do hunter things, and make sure I try not to faint again. But yeah, that's how easy you can faint in Master Rank. One combo, boom. Even with Vitality 3, you die. That's why it's thrilling to use a greatsword in close quarters combat with something that can hit you from that far away. One fuck up, and you can just go boom. You explode. Quite literally and figuratively. Your HP will just implode upon itself. This area, not fun to fight in. Not this dude. No. I might recommend using a dung pod. In fact, here. I guess not. I did hit the tail while it was doing this. Nope. I didn't want to waste my temporal mantle on that if I could avoid it. I guess I was still trying to cut the tail off. I just failed pretty bad. Well, that was something. Not something that was particularly effective, but something nonetheless. Well, that was bad on my part. I don't know if I can hit anything from this position. The answer was no, by the way, if you hadn't gathered as much. But these are the experiments you gotta run as a greatsword user. You gotta see if you can hit this stuff. Odds are you might not, but you gotta try, right? Probably could have gotten a strong charge off there, but I was trying to be a little less greedy. I didn't know you could just swing left and right like that, but apparently you can while you're shooting at it. I was dead set, I'm not fainting again. So it might look silly, Superman diving while the thing's going the other way, but I did not want to faint again. Not again. Nope, I'm getting this off. And by God, I did. That was actually pretty good. I mean, it was not a lot of damage, just because this thing's showing its age. The Wyvern Ignition at this point, but I'm stubborn. And I like this weapon, so here we are. And yeah, I was fishing for a mount attempt there. Didn't work out in my favor there, as you might be able to no doubt guess, but it doesn't really matter. I think this is where it fucked me over, or maybe that's a little later. But yeah, I think I shot a rock at the thing, and he turned around and was like, "You son of a dick." And he, you know, didn't appreciate that. Must have been after this next phase. Well, I don't know if they're technically called phases, but, you know what I mean? When he changes locale, I call it a phase, but it's not really. Not like, oh, what's that thing called? That one thing, not Zeno, well, Zenogre, kind of, but I remember him being supercharged and regular charged. I don't know if that's a phase or just a state, but I always considered that kind of like a phase. I don't remember seeing that move before, but that is new. was like, well, that's a perfect positioning. Gotta be a little conservative sometimes. And that was actually, this was like the turning point of the whole fight right here. It wasn't even intentional either. It's not like I intended to get this thing stuck in here either. Believe me, folks, this was not intentional. And I took full advantage of this. Because you have to. I was like, well, shit, dude, I'm gonna hit the fucking talons then. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Oh, they're a weak spot. Good, that's good. No, yeah, I know what. I'm just gonna do this then. Get another one in there, yeah. He's like, oh fuck, I fell over again. This is where you start feeling like a powerhouse as a greatsword user. Once you get the thing on the ground, if you're good enough, you can keep that thing falling over, you know? He just kind of felt like he couldn't really do anything at this point, and it felt good. It's like the shoe's on the other foot for once, you know? It's like, oh yeah, that must suck not being able to do anything, yeah, no, well, it must suck for you, yeah. I don't know anything about that, no. Of course, I got a bit of a big head here and decided, hey, you know what, no, fuck it, I got the advantage here, and he didn't like that. So he just turned around and said, well, you little shit. I mean, I'd get annoyed too if I just got true charge like 5 times in the face, but what are you gonna do, right? Yeah, that is difficult to try and predict for me still. Nope. So he's mad, rightfully so, because I just bashed his feet in, like broke his toes repeatedly. And you telling me you wouldn't be mad? Like, I'm gonna be galaxy brained here. I'm going up here and jumping on his ass. Yeah, no, why not? And I missed. Oh, yeah, I was not confident I timed that right. And I missed every single swing, I think. So, you got, I mean, this is about the only time I can ever get one of these off, so, you know, fuck it. So I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna go for the tail next then. Go for the tail! There we go. Must take a lot of damage to cut that tail off, because that tail, man, I'll tell you, that thing's tough. Because I know you can cut it off, at least I'm pretty sure you can cut that off. I should have went for the tail here, but I was going for the head, because I was like, I don't think I can cut the tail off. Just gonna go for the head then, I guess. So, gotta go for the Wake Up True Charge, because that's what we greatsword users do, if we're good. Even if they did nerf it a little bit. You can still do it, and still hit for over 1,000, so do it. Makes the remainder of the fight very, very easy. I tried something fancy, trying to land on its head, but I missed by like a foot, and it's like, oh man, I look like a jackass. You might be able to dodge some of its attacks with that jump as well, if you want to look fancy. Though I'm not sure how practical it is. I have jumped over, for example, Xenohiva while it runs toward me doing its little charge move. And I'm like, there's no way I can get out of the way of this. I gotta either, you know, dive out of the way or try for something else. So I tried for that and jumped over it as it went below me and landed on its tail and cut its tail off. That was pretty epic. But I mean, besides that, I was trying to be fancy here. As you can see, it didn't really work, but I was trying. You gotta try different things. You never get better without trying, right? That's right. No, that's a bad Gajalaka. You fucked me over when I was fighting Nightshade, so I gotta screw you over. Yep. It's a circle of hatred. That only took 34 minutes. Yeah, only 34 minutes. In my defense, that was faster than the Barioth by like 3 or 4 minutes. But yeah, eventually I'll get a new greatsword. But I really like that greatsword. It's my favorite greatsword. Anyway, back at base. Don't really have a whole lot else to do today, except, you know, do the dailies and pet Poogie or Lamb Chop or whatever you call them. Fun fact, the only reason I named him Lamb Chop was I think at the time I had the armor that put like wool on him, so I just called him Lamb Chop, and he just kind of stuck with it. I was like, well, no, why not? He's a pig named Lamb Chop, it works. Anyway, that's about all I got for today. I haven't recorded any more Monster Hunter World. Might get more this weekend, maybe only one episode, but still, 2 episodes a week, that's about average. So, hopefully I will see you next time, everyone. Until then.